and welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into reparenting, exploring all of the tools and resources that you'll need to help you along your journey. This podcast is divided into 3 sections. First is a daily reading, second is a discussion on the reading followed by journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. Thanks for being here for another day of Reparenting Daily. For all those joining in for the first time, if you can go ahead and give us a like, share, subscribe, it would really help us to get some more engagement and to get some 5-star reviews on Apple and Spotify podcast, so we can go ahead and keep the word spreading about this podcast and hopefully continue to reach and help as many people as possible along their reparenting journey. That's one way to support the podcast, of course. Another announcement is that we also have a Patreon community where we meet 3 times a week on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Sunday is a group meditation, Tuesday is a book club meeting, and Thursday is an open topic discussion where we communicate. You can gain access to these group meetings and so much more by joining the Patreon community. Just go to the website, Reparenting Daily, and check out the community tab. There you'll find all the details about what's actually offered. We also have a WhatsApp group and much more to look forward to that will really help you along with your healing journey. And for the last announcement, I'd like to say that we are just releasing our first 2 books now at Reparenting Daily. So you can go to the website, check out the bookstore tab, and at the top, you will see our first 2 official Reparenting Daily books. So I'm so excited to tell you about those, guys. So the first is Reparenting Daily Journal. This is a daily journal that corresponds to the podcast and will be aligned with all of the episodes starting from the 1st of January. That means that each month has a certain theme, and each week is a sub-theme that corresponds to the theme of the month. So if you're really interested in following along with this project, we're going to be stepping things up. Now we're almost half or just over half the way through the year now. So for the second year of the podcast, we're going to be taking it up to a different level, doing some different things to make it more actually interactive and engaging. So I'm really looking forward to that. You can find that on Amazon also if you just search Reparenting Daily Journal. And the second book is a really interesting one that's close to my heart. I've always been a writer since I was younger, and I like to write stories. I also enjoy research and writing research papers. I just really enjoy writing, and so I've created a book which is called Fairy Tales for Reparenting, and these are a collection of stories, and basically this is volume 1. I'm going to make other volumes as well, but they're a collection of fairy tales that are based on stories that can provide hope and inspiration, encouragement. It's really meant as a way to help you be able to connect with your inner child. So it's a really creative exercise, really for myself to think through these, to have some fun with my imagination. But also reading them is really a good way to connect to your inner child, to get to some of those tender emotions, to do something a bit silly or childlike, You can sit there and, take your teddy bear, if you have one, from the practices that some people say when you're reparenting your inner child. This is something that you can also do to support that journey. It's fun. There are happy stories that will just leave you hopeful and inspired. So let me know what you think of those. You can find both of those on the website, and also check out the Amazon store. They are available on ebook as well as hardback and paperback. And the version volume 2 will be dropping sometime soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be in December or either January, but I'll be sure to let you know. Just working on some final edits there, but hopefully to have that around the corner. So without further ado, let's get started on the daily practice. Today's reading is from the 48 Laws of Power. Today is law number 9, win through your actions, never through argument. Judgment. Any momentarily triumph you think you have gained through argument is rarely a filic story. The resentment and ill will you stir up are stronger and last longer than any momentary change of opinion. It is much more powerful to get others to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Demonstrate, do not explicate. Keys to power. In the realm of power, you must learn to judge your moves by their long-term effects on other people. The problem in trying to prove a point or gain a victory through argument is that in the end you can never be certain how it affects the people you're arguing with. They may appear to agree with you politely, but inside they may resent you. Or perhaps you said inadvertently, or perhaps something you said inadvertently even offended him. Words have the insidious ability to be interpreted according to the person's mood and insecurities. Even the best argument has no solid foundation, for we have all come to distrust the slippery nature of words. And days after agreeing with someone, we often revert to our old opinion out of sheer habit. Understand this. Words are a dime a dozen. Everybody knows that in the heat of an argument, we will say anything to support our cause. We will quote the Bible to revert to unverifiable statistics. Who can be persuaded by bags of air like that? Action and demonstration are much more powerful and meaningful. They are there before our eyes for us to see. There are no offensive words, no possibility of misinterpretation. No one can argue with demonstrated proof. As Baltasar Grecian remarks, the truth is generally seen, rarely heard. Thank you. That's the reading for today. Welcome back. In reparenting, focusing on actions rather than arguments shifts energy from proving or defending ourselves to fostering genuine transformative growth. Actions rooted in self-love, consistency, discipline, and resilience naturally build trust within our inner child, who may be skeptical due to past experiences. This principle encourages by leading by example with ourselves, demonstrating commitment, following through on promises, and establishing self-trust through action rather than words alone. Just as his law suggests, bypassing argument to achieve respect and influence, applying it to the reparenting process emphasizes that showing rather than convincing is vital for self-trust. The inner child, as the younger part of ourselves, yearns to feel secure through consistent, small actions rather than explanations or promises. This approach honors the experience of the inner child and promotes a nurturing environment where actions reinforce self-worth and authenticity. As we reflect further on the reading today, here are some journal prompts you might consider. Number 1, building self-trust through actions. Reflect on a recent moment where you tried to convince or reassure yourself with words rather than actions. How did this approach affect your sense of trust in yourself? Next, list 3 small actions you can take daily to show your inner child that you are trustworthy, consistent, and present. How do you feel these actions could impact your relationship with yourself over time? Number 2, fostering inner confidence without argument. Consider a time when you felt the need to prove yourself to others or to also yourself. How did that experience make you feel? And what outcome did it bring? What actions can you take that will build your self-worth regardless of others' opinions or validation? Third, reparenting with quiet strength. Identify areas of your life where you feel most vulnerable. What consistent actions could you take in these areas to strengthen your inner foundation without self-criticism or explanation? How can you create a supportive environment for your inner child by acting in alignment with your core values instead of negotiating or explaining them to yourself? Thank you, and as always, take care of yourself and be well. And now, let us move on to the final section, the meditation. This is an unguided meditation. I will simply provide some music and you can take some time to relax. Please feel free to choose a location and a place where you feel safe and where you can be undisturbed for the next 10 minutes. You can choose to be sitting down, standing, as you like, wherever you are most comfortable. Thank you for being here and enjoy the meditation.